It's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle, we unite and trippin' orange and black and white. Whole day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the feastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins.
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Dell Altman, joined by my co-host, the Pork Chop, the Mayor of Pork Chopolis. What's up?
What's happening, man? Got me some good rest. Woke up today feeling great because the 53-man roster set, and
He has risen.
we got good news on the practice squad, didn't we?
Well, not just practice squad.
Well, I mean,
Joe Burrow
hey,
back on the field.
that's right.
Full
I
pads,
forgot about that. I saw that picture of him.
throwing some passes. He has risen. He is back.
I knew it. This
Yes,
man's
he's back.
he's been in the bubble throwing. Come on.
I don't know how much he's doing out there at practice. I think the media is like a half an hour. I don't know if they get to stay the whole time, so they might not get to see. But I know he was throwing passes in general. So hey, and he's in pads. He's throwing passes. He's got like 10, 11 days till we go play Cleveland. So plenty of time.
Man, I like to sit around and daydream, and I was just thinking yesterday about what would it be like if all of a sudden if Joe was doing that play and he just started limping on purpose and they were just fucking with everybody like, haha, JK NFL. Joe Burrow was never hurt.
Oh God, I don't know. I just don't even want to think of Burrow limping anymore.
You could probably get in some shit for that, right? If they like said he was hurt, but
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to
yeah,
report that shit, but
you can't say JK and everything's forgiven.
yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do that. But yeah, so the roster, we can kind of just begin there with the 53 being set. We'll get into practice squad. We may even get into a little bit of Cleveland, maybe talk extensions as we're narrowing down what we think is the window to get those done. 11 days, the season opener. So in my opinion, we got about 10 days to get a deal done. Surprises with the offense, I would say initially I was curious if Trey Hill, Cody Ford would make it. Deniji, I thought, was on the outside looking in, which ended up being the case. And he did not come back to our practice squad. He is signing with Minnesota.
Right. Good luck.
Practice squad. So I'm guessing we offered him to come back, and he's like, I'll just change the scenery, maybe get to play a little sooner. He knows he's buried here and not making that initial thing. Maybe he can go there and impress them. I mean, he's a guy who they clearly liked, but clearly in the biggest moments, he let us down. I mean, he did play in big games and that we won. People forget that. He played in all Joe Burrow's playoff games.
Yeah.
But the
Super Bowl, right?
Super Bowl, the AFC Championship, those the biggest games that we lost. He was also a part of that, and not on the good part of that. So
wasn't he on the side that Aaron Donald sacked Joe on the last play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
And also Chris Jones, they moved Chris Jones out to end because he was playing right tackle last year in that game, and Chris Jones was just wrecking him. So not ideal, but
hey, thanks for your time, Hakeem.
Yeah. We wish you the best.
Have fun in the land of 1,000 fucking lakes, buddy.
And
do some fishing.
One guy I know our buddy here, Parker, liked, which who they back to Parker, who they Crip, everybody else in the chat. But Parker was a big fan of Ben Brown, as was I. Thought maybe he could sneak on there. Worth developing. Haven't heard anything about him being back on the practice squad. He's not on the official list the Bengals put out, so it's looking like he's potentially moving on. Their list had 14 players, which so instead of getting into maybe some of the cuts, a lot of them are back. The Trent Taylor not back was a cut we expected. He signed with the Bears, and then Adeniji signed with the Vikings practice squad, and Raymond Johnson III. Not quite sure if you guys see it while we're on here. Let us know.
It'll probably be the Lions or Packers.
He's going to sign with somebody else. It appears he's not here unless we still got something working out with him. Who knows?
Seems like they're all going to one division, right? Minnesota and the Bears. So they're either going to go to Detroit or Green Bay.
They're staying in the North, just going from the AFC
That's
to
right.
the NFC.
They love the North.
What's up, Derek?
What's going on, fellas?
Just getting into our breakdown. We got the practice squad set. So we said we lost to Deniji to the Vikings and Trent Taylor to the Bears.
Yeah.
Other than that, it seems to be most guys are back on the practice squad. We added quarterback Will Greer to the practice squad. That's something that some people were getting a little upset with me on Twitter because I said, well, Browning's still the number 2.
Yeah.
And the running back from Cleveland, right?
He's not on our official list, but the reports are, and I seen another one from Jeremy Fowler or somebody on Twitter that backed up the original report that Felton is getting finalized and he'll be our running back on the practice squad. I like that move because he showed some flashes in Cleveland as a pass catcher and the guy with a little plus speed.
Let me ask you guys this question. All right. So when we get Greer from Dallas, does he automatically go on to 53, or was at that point was he able to go onto our practice squad though we couldn't? Okay. All right. I didn't know that we could put people on the practice squad until after 1 o'clock or something like that.
So it was noon is what I heard, and I know that one had me a little. I was unsure on how that all works. He's in year 3, right?
I don't know what year he is.
Well, at least 4 or so because he played in 2019. That was the only stats he had. Was 2 games in 2019 season.
So maybe he didn't have to go through the waiver process.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking he was a free agent and he could go ahead and sign wherever, and he didn't have any offers to sign on any 53s, so he signed here on our practice squad for now.
Yeah, that sounds more right.
I like the move. Another quarterback in here that, like I said, his stats were not good in those 2 games, but they were from 2019. He looked good in the preseason finale, so it's nice that – and he's a vested veteran here, Chris is saying, which is what I figured since it was announced this morning.
And then Kripp coming, Casper Dick. Yeah. Derek is so white today, he's clear. You can't even see him.
It's John Cena.
Yeah.
Can't see me.
But, just thoughts on Will Greer, guys. I think it's good, and I think Browning's the number 2 for now, but competition's good.
Hey, Parker says still 1 spot left on a practice squad, but I thought someone said 16.
No, we announced 14, and we're thinking Felton will be 15, and then that'll leave us with
1 spot. Okay, I got you.
After that.
Yeah.
Now, and I hadn't seen anything as far as news-wise. Have you guys seen anything about any guys going to the IR or anything like that?
No.
Not yet, but my guess is if Osai ends up going, I mean, it could be Gunter that gets the call up since he's back at defensive end, but I think it'll be Stanley Morgan because they have 3 receivers on the practice squad right now. Shedrick Jackson, Kwame Lassiter, and then Stanley. I think Stanley could be, okay, we're going to be bumping him right back up.
I think you're right, but they also could think about Hudson too. Possibly.
Yeah, I like Hudson, and that's another guy who's back as well on the practice squad. I'm glad to see it because I want him around in case, Herb gets dinged up. We got somebody who can catch some passes. So I'm very happy he's back.
Well, you remember I said that I thought Wilcox was going to get it just because of the continuity with Joe. Well, you keep Hudson around on the practice squad, he can build some continuity with Joe. Let's see what happens. Look, Mom, I made a point that was right. Possibly, Mom. It's not 100% yet.
All right, Derek, so do you have thoughts on Will Greer, though? Chop keeps getting distracted. I keep asking questions. Chop will go to something else.
Right.
Yeah, I like the signing. I mean, I just don't think that there's really any quarterbacks out there that'll if something were to happen to Burrow, I just don't think there's anything out there.
What about Colt McCoy?
See, he's 36 years old. He's an
backup,
old man.
though. So was Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he fucking got Fitz magic going on in places.
He could get 1 game, maybe 2, but I don't know.
I mean, is Colt McCoy better than what we got?
I don't think so. I've never really been a huge Colt McCoy guy.
I never
Not
been
even
a
as a
fan of him
backup.
starting. That's for damn sure. I just, someone to hold the clipboard and come in for a couple plays.
Yeah,
That's why I like Browning.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I look at a backup, I want to say, is this guy a top 50 guy? And I just don't see any out. There's definitely, in my opinion, none out there that I think are top 50.
Right.
Yeah, so Will Greer, he can move a little bit too. It looked like a lot of his rushing yards. He had close to 50 in that last game, but they were just like wide open rushing yards. So I don't think he's near as mobile as what Browning is. But hey, at least he can use his legs. He's not a complete statue. That's what I didn't like about Simeon. It's Colt McCoy being 36, 37. I don't think I want him either. So I like it. I like Will Greer. Keep him here. Even if he doesn't, if he stays on practice squad all year, guess what? Guess what I'm looking forward to? Next preseason.
Right.
The number 2 quarterback battle between Will Greer
yes.
and Jake Browning.
Yeah.
So,
Let this season last a while, though. Between off seasons, let's stretch this out, man. Let's enjoy this. I can't believe that we got like a week and a few days. We got like 8 days until we got fucking meaningful football. I mean,
Actually, we've got like 3 days because the Ohio State will be playing football this weekend.
Oh yeah, and so will the Louisiana State be playing football this weekend too.
Dude, I'm excited, man. Football's back. It's time to get going. I can't wait.
Man, I'm so fucking stoked.
Hey, who's some Dale, since I got you here, who's some late round quarterbacks we could potentially look at next year?
I don't have my draft stuff in front of me.
Okay, season
There's
hasn't
a bunch
started
of
yet, so we can discuss this maybe a little bit.
Well, Sam Hartman, from Notre Dame, transferred from Wake. He had 4 tutties in the week 0 game against Navy last week. So there's your one name. Although he's going to be he's probably already like 25 years old, honestly.
Yeah,
but still. So there's one name as tease.
Okay, that's one name I'll start watching.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Kyle McCord.
Nah. I don't have any faith in the Buckeye quarterbacks this season.
Oh man.
Any season. We'll see. We'll see how your guy does down there in Texas.
Yeah. But back to the practice squad. So right. Kirkland stuck around and Nate Gilliam. I thought maybe that'd be Ben Brown. It looked like they chose Nate Gilliam over Ben Brown potentially. So I know they've liked Gilliam, and then Kirkland, it showed some flashes. So that's kind of our O-line. D-line, I was surprised no one took Jeff Gunner. I really liked him. He's shown flashes. He flashed in the preseason again. He was on the active roster a lot last year. So he's back. Derek's man, Dominic Davis, made it to the practice squad as well.
Number 72.
Yep. No jerseys I'm going to be buying this year. Maybe
I got a bunch of – I got some 72 jerseys. They just don't say Davis on the back.
I might have to get me a Davis 89 jersey. Maybe I'll give me an Arrow 0 jersey. Maybe I'll look into getting me one.
Make an orange one.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the signings or the guys they brought back. I kind of wish that, and I don't know what the deal is with him. And I saw you had mentioned something about him. The O lineman from Cleveland, Dale.
Yeah, the Michael Dunn.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was also a Vesta veteran because he was signing back to the practice squad in Cleveland already, or no one claimed him, one or the other. I mean, he might just – if he was eligible to be claimed, no one claimed him because he signed back to Cleveland's practice squad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's one guy that I wouldn't mind seeing him bring in. But speaking of the practice squad, I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but do you think that they're going to bring anybody up before week 1, or do you think that they're going to kind of stick with what they have? Because every year that we've had somebody injured that we're like, okay, maybe they'll put them on the IR for 4 weeks and then bring somebody up. It seems like they haven't done that. What's your thought?
I think they always bring people up because they have that rule now where you can have 4 guys you protect, and it seems like they make a couple of them active. I think it's another way to, depending on game plan, utilize some players for whether it's special teams. Maybe the team is more run heavy, so you get a guy up that's better at stuff in the run. Maybe you need more pass rush. You get a gunner up for that week. I think if Stanley's not moved to the active roster, there's a good chance Stanley Morgan is called up the first couple weeks just for special teams alone if he's here.
Just those first couple games, maybe give the other guys an idea of kind of what they're looking for, kind of deal.
Yeah, I could definitely see that as guys being called up. And then if anybody's dinged up, that happens. The guy's dinged up and he's just going to be out a week, so you set him a week. I mean, it's nice that there's a little flexibility with your rosters.
When do they have to decide if somebody's going to go on the PUP or the IR? When does that have to be decided before the season starts? Because Joseph Osai, if he's got that high ankle sprain, it seems like they probably put him on about 4 weeks out.
And that was what I was worried about because they've had years where they've had guys injured and they're like, oh, he'll be back in a couple weeks, and then it's 4 weeks later, and they didn't utilize that roster spot. That's the only thing. That's the one thing I'm worried about is, are they going to fully utilize their roster availability the way most teams would?
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of times when they do that, then the guy ends up being out the 4 weeks anyways.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And it is 4 weeks now. They've got the rule where it is just 4 weeks on injury reserve. So I don't know. And Zach said they're still waiting on a test or two. I can't believe they don't have all the tests on their side they need to see to make a decision one way or the other. So we'll just see. That news could come in some point while we're on the show even. It wouldn't surprise me. I just think Asai's most likely because he wasn't out at practice at all. Deontay Smith was at least on the rehab field along with DJ Turner, and I can't remember all the guys. There's like Chris Evans, I think, where he's been sick. There's like 4 or 5 guys on the rehab field.
Does anybody know how he looked? Or
who's that? Chris Evans or Joseph Osai?
No, Deontay Smith.
No idea.
Oh.
I think he was on the rehab field, but he didn't have pads or anything on, so he probably wasn't going through too much. So he was the other guy I was curious about if they're going to injury reserve him.
And then that's another thing too with the IR to return. Are you only allowed so many players for that, or how does that work? Does anybody know?
It used to be only so many, but I thought they might have changed that. I thought they might have changed that this year. I could be wrong, but I think it's just you can bring them back after 4 weeks if they're injured, which I like. That's how it should be. If a guy just going to have a shorter injury, let him come back. You shouldn't limit that to 2 players. Some teams get hit harder with injuries than others. Like, if a guy can come back, let him come back. It's kind of silly.
Exactly. I agree.
To finish out practice squad, corners, Alan George, glad he's back. Sidney Jones, the veteran, also back. So the corner depth that we talked about is still there. And that's another one. If DJ Turner ends up being dinged up longer than we thought, you could easily see one of those guys being called up to the active roster because you need to have corner depth in a passing league. So it wouldn't shock me if those guys were called up. Shaka Hayward.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I really liked the Sidney Jones callback. That's a veteran guy, a veteran leader that you want to have on the team, but maybe just didn't have the I guess who was it? Ivy that beat him out. But it's still nice to see that he's still there.
Yeah, and Ivy was one that I would have been worried about getting claimed just because of all the traits and the potential that he showed. So I'm glad they kept him on the 53 and didn't risk that. But linebackers, they kept Shaka Hayward and Tyler Murray. I thought that might have been Keandre Jones because it's been Keandre Jones for like 2 or 3 years on the practice squad. But they went with Tyler Murray, who I don't know a ton about, but hey, good for him. He's got a practice squad spot. And then Mike Thomas, the veteran, came back. So love to see that because obviously special team stud, team leader. Everyone loves Uncle Mike. 8 players. Okay.
8 players, according to Rob. 8 players on the IR per season.
See,
Chat's always coming through.
That's
for
a
us,
lot.
man.
It used to be like 2.
Yeah, it was 2, and then
I think it was 4.
I can't remember. how it all worked out. But yeah, it was a weird stipulation with all that.
I wonder why that is. Like, did a player come out at one? Are they just resting people? Like, extra people you take out for 4 games to give them a 4-game rest? Why limit it to 8? I mean, if they're out for 4 games, I don't even think they should be out for 4 games. Hey, you call off sick to work, you go back when you're ready to go back. So I don't understand all that. I'm sure that they're in place for a certain reason with the time limits and stuff like that, but I don't understand it. If a guy's hurt, he doesn't play. You pull someone else up from the practice squad, he plays, and then when the guy's better, he can go back. Why? I mean, the guy could literally be better, ready to go for 2 weeks, and then not come back. You have to sit for 2 more weeks until he comes back.
That's part of the decisions, And then if it's pretty 1 or 2 week type injury and he should be good to go, then you just keep him there because you always have game day inactives anyway. So it's not really hurting your overall roster because you have those game day inactives where they wouldn't play anyways for a couple weeks. So I don't know. Like, I'm glad it's at least 8 now and they're moving in the right direction. But yeah, they could do more things to, get more roster flexibility and coming back for sure in the future. Damn, Derek, you got your window down?
No, my air was blowing right on me.
What do you need air conditioning for?
Because it's hot, man. It's a hot day at work with all that stuff on.
Oh, you're on your way back from work, aren't you?
Yeah. We have these new Venair hoods. They're like these weld hoods are like $1,800, and they pump air into you. So at least they got that now.
I need somebody to pump some air into me.
You just want somebody to pump something to you.
So you're bitching. You said it's hot, but at work you're getting a blowjob the entire time.
The entire time.
Basically, right?
Right on my head.
Right on. That's where I want it. Right on the head.
Lucky.
Oh,
and then the reports of Demetric Felton. Do you guys have anything about him you want to discuss? I thought that could have been Jacob Sailors, but I like this. I like Demetric Felton.
Yeah. I don't even know.
They said a little bit of a down year last year, but the year before he had a decent little season. I remember him coming in and making a few plays against us, and it was just like, damn, how many running backs does Cleveland have?
You know what?
Yeah, it seemed like every running back they had just was lights out. So I'll be interested to see what that guy can do.
I'll be interested to see if he's on there week 2 after we get all the information we need out of him about Cleveland for the first week. If he's still on there week 2, then we were. Huh?
I forget what year it was, but there was one year where it seemed like every game we was signing a player to the practice squad from the opposing team that we were getting ready to play.
We did it last year with Kansas City. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that was what was that guy's name, Dale?
I don't know, but then he was in trouble for like shooting. Yeah, getting in a shooting with. He was in that same thing with Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth says you got to limit to 8 or the hoodie will find a way to abuse it. Yeah, there's a way to abuse anything. Right. He doesn't like report injuries and stuff anyway, so yeah.
Exactly.
He would be all over that if you could just return willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm. So I know I came on here kind of late, but anything interesting happened today with the quarterbacks? Do you guys see anything about that?
Will Grier was out there, and he's wearing number 7. That's all anyone cares about.
That's the highlight of the day, I think.
Are they pissed off about it?
No. It was just
I talked
Joey
about
B,
he
baby.
has risen. Yeah, he has risen.
Yes.
Man.
He's been fine. He's been playing in the bubble, Derek. That's the part you missed where I bet he's been in the bubble. I've been
saying that for weeks. Yeah. I said I wouldn't even doubt it if, Jamar and T and all them guys were out there running routes for him.
Look at this, man. Rob's still out there working. Twice per season for any one player. He's giving us the lowdown on the IR to PUP list.
Or maybe Trunk was out there running them routes.
It could be. I don't know. The Trump train?
No, Trunk. Wasn't that
Trunk?
That dude's name? Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that's his name or not.
Yeah, I don't remember that guy, but I haven't seen him catching Joey B's balls lately. I think he got fired after his big.
after his big coming
I mean,
out
I don't
party?
want to say that. I don't know. Maybe he got a promotion.
Maybe.
It was Joey B's ball catcher. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was something like that.
You got to handle those balls just right.
Mm-hmm. So, what about have we heard anything about Crispin? Did he catch on anywhere? There was a freaking whirlwind of kicker trades and kickers
Yeah.
re-signing different places, and
That was
punters,
kickers,
and I was
though.
like,
The punter action's been slow.
Yeah.
okay,
But I have not
And-
seen anything on Chrisman, so
okay.
I haven't
All
seen
the best
anything. I'm going to
wishes
be
for that
honest,
guy.
man. I went to bed. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got here Cincy Mo on Twitter. I want to at who _day 247. Want to give credit, assuming this is correct. I just pull anything off Twitter now.
Right.
Announce it on the show.
Right.
But
Okay.
starting here in 15 minutes at 4 p.m., so now 4 minutes Eastern Standard Time, teams can place players on injury reserve and designate them to return. Might
Okay.
see an Osai / Raymond Johnson corresponding move.
Okay.
So that could be some, and I mean he's speculating on that move, but we're just talking about Osai, and there we go. It can't happen till 4, so we couldn't have found out till
Okay.
4 apparently.
I'm just going to sound stupid, but is Raymond Jackson, is he a rookie?
No,
No,
he was
this
on our
was
practice
third
squad
year,
last
right?
year too.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
he
last
played
year
for
though.
the Giants the year before
But
that.
he's not vested, right?
The Giants drafted him. No,
I
he's
don't
not.
think
vested.
so because he hasn't really played. He's been on practice squad a lot.
But if
I
he's
don't
been on
know.
practice squads for 4 years, then he'd be still vested, wouldn't he?
No, he was drafted the Chase year, I think.
Okay. So he's in year 3.
But I also another thing I want to mention before we kind of get a little into Cleveland, and if anybody sees that as side news, please let us know if there is any news for that. Who Day to Jolly, but Burrow and Higgins, as we say, 11 days. I say that's 10 days to get a deal done. We're not going to get a deal done on game day morning next Sunday.
Yeah.
So, are you guys getting worried at all about a deal for Joe Burrow and or T. Higgins?
No.
T, yes. Burrow, no. I just, with the whole T situation, I don't really know what to make of it. I just, it seems like every single time we think something's going to happen, it's just nothingness. But Burrow, I'm not. Am I worried about it happening this year? Yes, but overall, no. Like
Yeah,
it'll happen, but as far as this year goes, I don't know. Maybe he's saying, "Hey, I just want to focus on the season, and then after
No.
that, we'll
He's
get
not
it-
saying
get
that.
the-
There's no way he's saying that because of the first season he was here and he got taken out with the ACL, MCL. He wants that contract before it starts. That way he can get that guaranteed money if something happens. If something happens to him this season and he doesn't sign that contract, man, he's going to have to live off the millions he's already have instead of the future millions. So he wants to get the
that's true.
contract signed. Am I worried about it? No. The contract will get signed. I don't think Joe's worried about it either. I think he knows that Cincinnati, we value him here and that he's going to be a part of this franchise for years to come. As far as T goes, I'm not too worried about it because whatever happens, happens. And I'm telling you, we got a quarterback that will make you famous. So I would love to
Yeah.
keep T here. He's a great talent, but I'm also not worried about the future if for some reason something doesn't work out between the two parties.
Yep.
And our buddy Jerome says they'll tag T
Right.
after this season
Yeah.
too. So, and that's the thing, man. Then we're talking what?
Yeah.
3 seasons down the road.
Yes,
Like
that's
I'm not
exactly.
worried about 3 seasons down the road yet, but it is something. It's obviously something to talk about because I want Burrow's done. I just think it should be done. All the other quarterbacks are done. I feel like there's no reason it's not done. I mean, I know we say, "Well, are you worried?" Worried. It's like, well, I'm not worried. But do I want it done? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I want it
Yeah.
done. I want it done and over with, and we can just shut the fuck up about it, right?
Right. Yes.
That's what I'd like. And then T like I'm with you, Derek. That one, even though we can franchise him next year and it is 3 years down the road, is this the same Jesse Bates playbook? Are we going to worry about him holding out all next camp? Is Joe going to finally be healthy for a full camp, and T's going to be holding out next year? Like, just shit like that. But those are future problems that, as the season starts, I'm ready to put on the back burner. But they're still there, and there's still something to talk about for at least the next 10 days. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'm slightly concerned with T because I just said if it doesn't get done, the likelihood of a long-term deal with him, to me, gets a lot smaller if it doesn't get done before this season. I've said that since last year.
Yeah. And,
So I don't
and one
disagree.
thing,
I'm not going to just backtrack and be like, no, changing my mind. No,
Right.
the same point stands. Like, I'm still a little concerned that we're not going to get a long-term deal with it.
Hey, Jolly's saying the same thing that I have said on here plenty of times. Don't worry about the Bengal fan mentality and expect the worst to happen because those days are gone. You need to relax and enjoy the ride. Dale, did I not say that?
You've said that a lot, yeah.
People are like,
Yep.
this is the way historically the Bengals have done things this way and that way. That's historically, man. That shit's over. It's like the ownership traded hands. Everything's brand new now, So quit fucking saying it's like the Bengals. This is the way they do shit. It's not, unless you're taking
exactly.
the last 4 years. I don't even say 5. I know this is Zach's 5th year, but I don't even say 5. The last 4 years, it's changed. Shit has changed. It's not the same.
It's not partly cloudy in Marvintown anymore.
No.
But do you still worry, with T especially, going back to just T, they saw how well, it's preseason, I know, but they saw how well Yoshi performed, and he's like universally loved here. People love Yoshi, not just Greg, not just my 13-year-old daughter. People love Yoshi. Like, they feature him on all kinds of stuff. He's a 6th-round guy, that's probably not going to play much this year. And he gets tons of love here. I'm just saying, with Mike Brown and his pieces of the pie, do you not think maybe in the back of his mind that they can say, well, we can pay this guy 6th-round pick money for a few years
Yeah.
and let go of T potentially?
Let's see how good he does. I don't know.
That kind of goes into the whole mentality of the Bengals, kind of what they've been doing lately. I mean, you could pay Jesse Bates $30,000 a year or what? I don't remember exactly.
$30,000?
$30,000 a year.
$30 million.
I know what?
Probably
30
she
million.
got more than 30,000.
That's probably why he went to Atlanta.
Or $18 million a year. Well, I can't remember how much.
He wakes up and makes 30,000.
Right.
Could we?
That's how much
could we
he gets
pay
paid
this
to turn
guy?
off the snooze.
Yeah. Could we pay this guy this, or could we pay these two guys this? That's kind of how they've been doing things, and maybe we see that with, could we see them say, okay, we could pay $22 million a year for T, or we could pay $28 million a year for Jamar and $2 million a year for Yoshi Vosh, or what? I don't know what the 6th-round pick salary is, but you know what I'm saying.
It's probably like not even $1 million a year after the first year.
Well, and that's the thing too, right? When this Justin Jefferson deal drops, guess who's looking at that deal?
T. You're right.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar, but also T. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, T's not going to get the number 1. Jamar is, but that's also going to affect what T gets.
And I mean, it's tough because Jamar is going to make a lot of money. So I mean, so is T, so is Joe. But I'm just saying, Justin Jefferson's about to get paid, and Jamar's going to want something similar.
Pretty sure that Justin Jefferson's going to hold out. They're not going to come to terms, and he's going to bring the band back together. It's going to be the fucking Burrow,
all right,
Jefferson, and Chase show.
Does Kieran live inside you? Does he live inside
you? He could literally fit inside me and drive me around like a machine. He could get in there and walk me around.
He's a little feller. On?
He's a little feller, and I'm a big feller.
Yeah.
No, but God, hey, tell me you wouldn't get a fucking boner if that shit happened.
And see, Jolly's saying T gets his pie and Joe gets the rest. Problem solved. But then you got to have a big slice of pie waiting for
right.
Jamar. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right. You got to save a piece. You got to have leftovers.
You got to have half the pie left.
Maybe that's what they're waiting on with T. Maybe they're going to say, okay, let's figure out you and Jamar together.
No, you can't do that.
I know it's not necessarily the right thing to do, but
That's
I
why
think-
I'm saying the longer this goes, the more of these salaries are out there for guys like Jefferson, and then that's what Chase is looking at. And then, but T sees that, and T's like, well, if I could get close to that, even like, it's just the longer it goes, the more unlikely it is we sign T. I love T. I want T here. This is not an anti-T thing. This is I'm trying to just put myself as the Bengals, and there's only so much to go around.
There's always so much pie.
But it's why I wanted to get it done sooner the better, because it's only going to go up.
Well, maybe the pie is like cut in permanent slice sizes. You know what I'm saying? So you got a pie. I'm just saying. And every year that pie, everybody
Pie
gets
break.
the same slice. You know what I mean? So you take your pie and you cut it in different pieces. This is the quarterback piece. This is the number 1 receiver piece. This is the number 2 receiver piece. So that piece of pie stays the same, and it stays the same based on percentage of the salary cap. Maybe that's what's going on. It's
If
quite
you look
possible.
around the league, the average quarterback is about what is it now? 28% of the salary.
I don't know, but
can't
it sounds
remember.
about right.
Derek always throws out stats and then goes
Right.
out. God damn it, Derek!
Well,
Throw out the stats.
If I was able
Be
to look it up. But yeah, the average salary is about 28%, or the average whatever is about 28% for quarterbacks. Some get higher,
No.
some get lower, but
Dusty, that's not what I'm saying. See, I feel like I get to be the bad guy in all these conversations
Yeah,
because I
now.
try to be like,
Why?
I try to give a different side and perspective than just the
Yeah,
Such a-
side.
you gotta play
such a
devil's
fucking tea
avocado.
hater.
Yeah, devil's avocado. But yeah, Andre, but he's not a T replacement. Come on now.
No.
I know. Like, I'm not saying he's anywhere close to
Now,
T.
come
T
on,
is a
no.
top
Look at the Reyes scores. Look at the
Why-
Reyes scores.
I'm saying, does Mike Brown look at it and go, wow, he played well. Can I potentially save 23 million difference on the salary, or $24 million difference per year on the salary for a few years? So knowing I've got to pay Joe and I've got to pay Chase, can I save that by going with this young guy from Princeton and letting T go? Like, I'm worried that the money is going to come down and cause something like that happening the longer it goes, because we've been saying, oh, we'd be happy if T signs for 20 million per.
Yeah.
25 million per. What happens when it starts getting in the 30 million pers? And then Jamar wants 40 million per. You know, and
Yep.
Joe's getting 50 plus million per.
Before long,
There's
it's just
only so much pie to go around, baby.
we need more
And
than
I'll-
3 people to suit up on Sundays.
Yes.
And all these players talk too. So what happens when, let's just throw one out there. What happens when CJ Stroud goes up to T on the offseason and it's like, dude, if you come to Houston, you will be the highest paid receiver. Like he said, I don't care about your stats. Your stats will be a whole lot better as the number 1 guy here. You know, and when that stuff starts happening, they start thinking about that money. You know, maybe we just won't be able to afford him.
CJ Stroud's got that kind of power down there already.
After he has a hell of a year this year, he will.
Derek swinging.
He'll be
that big-
recruiting. He'll be
CJ
making
Stroud.
deals.
And how much
Swinging
does
that
T
Scarlet
want to?
Gray dick all the way around.
And how much does T want to stay on a winner? Basically, being on a winner all his whole life. You know, Clemson, and then here. I mean, 1 year and then boom. You know, they're winning his second year
Yep.
here. I don't know. Like, I do think T wants to be here. I do love T. I am just worried about from a front office perspective.
Mhm.
He's always
Them
been a
being
Bengals
like-
fan his whole life.
Yeah, AJ Green fan.
It's
Yeah.
nice it's nice to have a problem where you got 2 number 1 wide receivers on your team and you got to figure out how to pay them both.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I'm with you guys. Like, the salary cap goes up. There's ways to make all this work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to think about other guys too. Your DJ Readers of the world.
Right.
That's another guy I put in the graphics. So we had a kind of our T talk for the day. What about DJ Reader? Like, I didn't get to see the story from Kelsey Conway, who I know everyone loves to hate on. I'm still staying out of all of that. I let the reporters do their job, and I'm just
Right.
Yep. Reporters aren't there to make friends. End of story.
But regardless, she had apparently a really good story with DJ Reader. I haven't read it. I didn't know if you guys got a chance to, but we all love DJ. We know he's a leader. Did either of you get a chance to read that?
No,
Landon?
fill me in.
I didn't.
No, I
That's what I'm saying. I didn't read it. So I guess we'll talk more about the story when we read it. But in general, DJ Reader, I would still love to see like a 2-year extension, like we got with,
Trey.
a little. Well, we added 1 year for Trey, but I like to see like a 2-year extension for DJ with this deal coming up this year. What do you guys
Absolutely.
think?
And he just. Did you guys get to watch that or the Jungle Story TV show or whatever it's called? And he opened up that kids school bank or what, I don't know exactly what they called it, the reading something.
Right.
I can't remember. But that was opened up in Cincy, correct?
Yeah, it's at one of the schools around here.
Yeah. So that's just another reason why I'd love to see him. But he's getting more ingrained into the city and more ingrained in the community, and I want to see him here I want him to be a lifer, not from now on.
Yeah, I agree.
Chop, were you reading?
Yeah, I was reading Rob's comment here. He says that it's funny. He says Joseph Osai told him that the doctor said it could be 4 weeks.
Told you, Rob?
Yeah, he personally told you, Rob, like you're on the phone with Joseph Osai right now.
Let's get you on the damn show.
Right. We need to get Rob on the show and get
Osai.
and his buddy Osai. Look, he says he'll check in back after 2 weeks, and he's definitely out against the Browns week 1. Sounds like likely to be out for week 2 matchup against the Ravens. He's not coming back for your birthday. Oh, per Kelsey Conway.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Per
okay.
Kelsey Conway and my bastard son Anthony coming through with the school, Schroeder High School.
Schroeder, okay.
Yeah.
We
Rob
buddies.
says, yeah, they are buddies. They are buddies. Yeah,
We
man, I'd love to
friends.
see Reader come back for a couple more years. And talking about that YouTube show, the Enter the Jungle or whatever it's called, I for real cried during that, man. I got emotional in the first half of it. Yes, I was like, "What the
Freaking
fuck,
instant
man?"
cold chills.
I'm so excited about football coming back. I was watching that thing and I got tears
Fucking
running down
pussy.
my face watching this
You
shit.
fucking pussy.
I know.
I will say this. Zach needs to work on his narrating skills.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell he was
Hey,
reading from the
Zach-
script.
Zach will put you in a fucking headlock some of this guy. You keep talking that
He
shit.
got, man, I need to get on his workout program. I know that. He's
You
got the
think he
dad
told
bod.
them, put that camera right here. Put the
Yeah.
angle right here on my arms like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to see more of that ping pong. I know they didn't play it on purpose, like the players playing the professionals on that ping pong, but man, I would have loved to
Yeah.
seen some of that footage.
You think they got their ass whipped pretty good?
Hell yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I read about it, and I was reading that I think Chidobe Awuzie scored a point, against them, but like anytime they scored a point against those professionals, it was like
They went crazy.
right. Like they won the Super Bowl. Going crazy.
The competitiveness in these guys is insane. It doesn't matter what they do. It's balls to the wall.
I mean, how cool is that though? So they established this ping pong thing in the locker
Yeah,
room.
they're oh sorry.
And then they hire
we
these
gotta talk about
professional
this next.
and then they hire professional ping pong players to come in and play them. That's awesome. That's great team thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is awesome team building. Now this man, Crip says Phil
Yeah.
Diamond. This is the real star of episode 1. Was Money Phil. That's sore subject for Chop.
I know. I'm trying to get over it, man. He looked good on the show. He looked good out in Kansas City. I'm trying. Maybe if he would have invited me to that party with Jim Breach, maybe then. If Phil
I
would have
remember when we had him on, and I was like, "Oh, am I gonna get invited?" And he's like, "Oh, we'll see." I did not get invited, by the way.
No, you weren't there.
I did not make the cut.
No.
Probably
Yeah, I
gave
don't
my
think
spot to David Falcher or Jim Breach.
Yeah. I don't
Right.
think that's our kind of crowd, Dale.
He probably lives on the west side though. Since his,
Yeah, that everybody there had fucking more money than I'll ever make in my lifetime. They have more money in their bank account right now.
yeah, but you need
They
guys like
probably make more money in a month
You
what we
need
do.
guys like us to come in there and spice shit up. You know what I mean? Like his party, like that was great, but everybody was just chilling. We go in there, man. We take it to the next level.
We could have been like, can we fucking play a song?
Right.
Like, I had that fucking band equipment.
Let me get up there on that karaoke. Come on now.
Oh, I sing a mean karaoke. Little Devil Went Down to Georgia, maybe.
Yeah, I'll go with some Jam on It or some Mix-a-Lot. Sleeping with My Funk.
So the narrating skills, Paul said, put a book to sleep.
Yeah, it didn't sound like he was reading at all.
You can call me D Rabbit.
There's gonna be somebody different every time, right? Or is it supposed to just be Zach?
Oh,
I don't
narrating?
know.
I thought they were
how
like,
that-
this
how
one's
that
narrated
works.
by Zach, and they were going to maybe switch it up.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna ask me for episode 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting on my feature, you know.
Right. I'll do the narration on episode 4.
I'll tell you what. I'll do mine at a discount.
Discount.
$3.50?
I'm paying them to do it. What's your discount?
I mean, that I won't cost as much as Zach Taylor. I'll just say that.
Well,
Part of his obligation.
that's a big wide area to be paid from 0 to less than what they're paying Zach Taylor.
Speaking of which, how many more years does he have left on his deal?
All of them.
Well, didn't they?
He's just got a
Didn't he
lifetime
give him an
contract.
extension?
He got one the Super Bowl year, but I don't remember how many years he got.
Yeah, I don't even remember what his initial contract was. Was it like 5 years or so, and then he got another year already?
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
He'll be here as long as he wants to be here. Most
I
likely.
keep
hope so.
asking great questions, fellas. I asked
Yeah.
him off the wall questions that nobody knows the answer to.
Right. What the fuck? Ask us something we know, Derek.
That's what Derek does.
I know.
How big's your penis?
Well, hard or soft? Which one?
I
you
mean,
want?
we don't have to go too in depth.
Yeah, the fucker
Yeah.
works though. Works
Episode 2 comes out. When is that? Like September
Next-
18th or something?
though. Jeez, there's a lot of
I
time in
thought they were
between
going every
episodes.
Tuesday.
No,
Wow.
it's going to be. It might have been the 14th, September 14th, maybe.
Well, is week 2 the whichever one it is. There's one for the whiteout night for the Ring of Honor game.
Well, it ain't going
I
to be
don't know if
next
that's
week.
I don't know if that's the next game or not, or the next show or not.
I think it's like September 14th, something like that. So
Hopefully, they come down the parking lot and get me all in my get up Ocho chop. Or
I won't
see-
be there.
Yeah,
I'll narrate it though. It's fine. They're probably going to ask me to narrate it.
that's probably why you're not going to be there, so you'll be in the studio.
No, he got rid of his tickets because he's going to be ruler of the jungle. That's what it is.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yep. They ask me like all the time. I've just always turned it down.
Right, you put it off.
Yeah.
You're like, because you'd rather spend the time drinking with your buddies in the parking lot before the game
Yeah.
instead of getting there early to get everything set up and ready.
Yeah, I'm
We
like,
appreciate that.
oh, you want to? Oh, ask Chad. I'm like, ask Pac-Man. Ask Koosh. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Yeah.
stop asking me. Gosh.
right. Like,
Why
leave
don't
me
you guys?
alone.
Yeah. Just let Phil do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Could have been fan of the year, like back to back. They wanted me to be all decade fan of the year.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
You should do it. If I were you, man, I would do
No,
it.
I said I can't. Sorry.
I understand. You just like to live the simple life out there in Portsmouth, nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prior
That's,
obligation.
too many obligations for me.
It's the fucking paparazzi. You don't like.
Yeah.
You can't stand the paparazzi.
Dale and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's us. Two best
Well,
friends.
they're from basically the same area, impoverished
740?
fucking east side.
Did you guys see all the comments where everybody was like, what if they opened that show with Burrow and Higgins signing? That made me think of it when Chris said, or not Chris, but somebody said, yeah, Paul said, hopefully there'll be a signing before episode 2. A lot of people was like, oh, they're just going to start that show. No way they could have kept that under the wraps.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know,
Especially with-
Rappaport and Schefter and that
Yep.
guys, they have like fucking cameras and microphones
just-
in every building.
Is this
Every
true?
bathroom.
Crip says Elizabeth's going to narrate next one. Is that right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure she will narrate one.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this: I'll probably cry again.
I don't know, but I think next time we get to see Duke talk about his love for pizza after the draft.
Oh yeah, you like that final shot where he's cramming that
little
fucking
piece.
pizza? I had the same shot when I was filming Greg eat that Sky Rosa at the Reds ballpark. It was like the same exact shot.
Man.
Speaking of Greg, and when he did the fucking Sky Nato with the Donatos, man, he shoved that thing in there.
Yeah,
I'm
did.
telling you, like what
It was a little much. I'm not gonna
if
lie.
you watch the when he did the Sky Rosa, damn, trying to think of the name of that.
he
Sky
just
Rosa.
inhaled it.
Yes, I'm like, damn, this guy is not chewing. Like this food goes down in bite-sized pieces into his stomach.
Imagine his ability to suck a cock.
I was just gonna say, he's like one of those guys, throat shoving those hot dogs down his throat. How they don't even chew; they're just like,
I can't even stand watching those.
That's what Greg was like with that Sky Rosa, man. He was just like on it. I was like, what the fuck? This guy's got some skill.
I remember somebody commenting, they were like, get him in a eating contest like that.
Yeah.
We got to get Greg in a local fucking Skyline chili dog eating contest.
I want to see him do the Coney Crate challenge.
The Coney Crate challenge? Well, except for the Coney Crate's made at a place that tastes like dog shit. You got to get the same amount of Coney
chili is Cincy chili.
No, shut the fuck up, Derek. It is not. Don't goddamn get on here and start a fight with me.
I grew up on Gold Star.
That's all they had in Seaman.
Yeah. Well, sorry that your taste buds are fucking soured.
And you can't tell me Blue Ash chili isn't good.
What I'm telling you is Skyline is the number one, and Gold Star is the number last. You can take all these little mom and pop shops and put them in between Skyline and Gold Star. That's fine with me. But Skyline is number one. And I'll tell you why. It's proof. The proof is in the menu.
They employ your entire family?
Not really. I got one working at La Rosa's too. But all these other places that you say are good, right? Don't sell just chili. Skyline doesn't have to sell fucking hamburgers and breakfast and everything else to make their money. Everybody else does.
Have you had the double-decker sandwiches, though? Gold Star's got.
If I want a fucking double-decker sandwich, I'm going to go get a good double-decker sandwich from J&J's restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we don't have all those luxury shops.
Just saying, they make double-deckers, Derek. No, y'all got little gas stations that make fucking kick-ass morning breakfast burritos. I don't have that shit here in the city. Gas stations around here, they don't sell burritos like that. Y'all get lucky out there on the east side.
Yeah, it's because you can walk 50 steps and go to a what's that place called? The High on the Hill, or I can't think of the name.
That's on the east side, High on the Hill.
No, that's a totally different shop. That's a place I used to love going to. But what was that breakfast place down there in Cincinnati?
There's a breakfast
Wake
places.
and Bake or something like that. I can't remember.
Wake and Bake.
It was I'll think of it.
Wake and
Keep
Bake.
going.
I wish I would have known about Wake and Bake.
Yeah.
I would have went there a bunch of times back
Somebody
in the day.
in the chat's got to help me out. It's a place.
There's one up in Clifton that serves a breakfast called the Dirty Sanchez. Hangover Easy. There's a place in Clifton.
Hangover Easy. That's it.
Is that it? It ain't 50
the name of
steps
it,
from
yeah.
my house, Derek. First of all, it's like 53 at least. But a Hangover Easy, and you can go in there in the morning and get and they serve liquor and breakfast. And one of their meals is called the Dirty Sanchez.
It's the best place to go when you got a hangover and you got a class the next morning.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's so good.
Anthony says first watch.
Anthony also said the Gold Star has gone down in quality.
I used to like.
I thought it has to.
It's horrible, and they got to sell. And you know what? When people say, when I say Gold Star sucks, they say, "Hey, did you ever try the double deckers? They got good burgers." Yeah, that's fine. But what about the fucking chili? It tastes like dog shit. Like I never tasted dog shit, but I can imagine after eating Gold Star exactly what dog shit tastes like. It's like Gold Star.
You just put a little cinnamon on your
Put a little
dog shit,
cinnamon.
and that's,
Put some cinnamon on the dog shit.
See, I feel like I can taste the cinnamon more in Skyline.
You know, I've been eating it for so long. People say they can taste the cinnamon in it. Like, I think you said that, Dale. You could taste the
I did.
cinnamon.
I definitely
And I'm
did.
like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about because my taste buds are so used to it. I don't taste the cinnamon. I'm gonna get some Skyline today because I'm gonna try to get. Hopefully, they still got a cup left for David. I doubt.
Oh yeah, those are pretty sweet cups.
I know. I got one for
Hey.
Dale. I'm gonna try to get one for David too because he doesn't live down here.
Real quick Bengals question before which we're already off the rails, but do you think the whole Burrow holdup is because they wanted to kind of see where they're at financially by the time they get all these guys signed and re-signed and practice squad and all that?
No,
Do you think
I don't
that
know.
might
I
have
don't
anything to
know.
do with it?
I don't think it does. I don't know what's holding
don't.
it up. I don't even necessarily think it's held up. I think everything's going to happen in the time it's supposed to happen. That's just my opinion.
All right,
Yeah.
philosopher Chop.
I know. Destiny. It's destiny.
Jesus.
That's why Jefferson's coming back. And
What about CEH?
that's I was just going to say him too. Might as well bring his ass back too.
Oh, we might as well bring back the whole gang. Where's everybody's favorite preseason hero, the tight end? Moss.
gosh.
Moss.
Yeah.
He's sitting at home on the couch with Dad, probably watching TV.
You know,
watching
he
football.
was just on our practice squad last year, and then he was released not long after, and then it's like,
He got brought up to the main roster and then got hurt, and nothing ever came of it.
Well, he definitely never played the NFL like he did at LSU.
I remember his dad being hyped for that game too.
well, I don't
He was
want to
there.
deep dive too much because we've got, several more shows between now and the Browns game. But man, I'm looking at their damn roster, which also they signed Alex Leatherwood to their fucking practice squad.
Yeah, I saw that.
I get so jealous of their fucking offensive line, and like Callahan, he'll get the best out of these guys.
Mhm.
So I just want to bitch about their backups. Like Luke Whippler went in the 6th round, the Ohio State University. Baller. He's balling out, looks great. DeJuan Jones looked like a preseason fucking superstar
Yeah.
that they
Baller.
got in the 4th round. And I'm so that one hurts.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like, I like the Jordan Battle pick, but come on, man. It'd be nice to have that extra right tackle beef. Orlando Brown and DeJuan Jones, man meat for the future.
That's a lot of fucking beef.
Mhm.
I
A
mean,
lot of beef.
but I mean, looking at
Hey,
their
where's the
roster,
beef?
their roster is pretty stacked. Like I would be lying. Once again, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. But their roster looks really good. Like their line is good. I don't know, like I don't love their receivers, but I love their receiver depth.
Yeah.
Like you got Amari
Exactly.
Cooper, Peoples
I don't-
Jones, who for whatever reason plays great against us. And then Elijah Moore, who in the
Yeah.
slot I think is going to be a big upgrade for that team. Cedric Tillman, I loved him coming out of Tennessee. Marquise
Yep.
Goodwin, who's a freaking
Mhm.
Olympic speed. And then
Yeah,
David
they don't-
Bell. David Bell from Purdue. That's their top 6 receivers.
They don't necessarily have a 1, but they have a bunch of 2s.
Yeah. Like that whole group is 2s and 3s to me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too bad that Deshaun Watson's going to suck.
That really
we'll
is the
see.
key. I mean,
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think that's the difference between Cleveland having a 8-8 season and a freaking 6-4 season, or 6 and I can't even do math right now.
11.
However many, 6 and
6 and
11,
11.
8-9, 6 and 11.
Damn, Derek, you made me do math, and I haven't even got my shower yet.
but their defense too. They've put a lot into their defense. Zadarius Smith, Alvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris. I mean,
I've heard there's
Siaki,
some
Ika,
Takaki.
Agba Ekarankwu was another signing. Like
Yeah.
they're like deep at defensive
Yeah.
line, not just like good across the board, but they're deep.
I heard there's some turmoil though with Denzel Ward. Did you guys hear anything about that?
No, I hadn't.
Nope.
I hope they need some turmoil. It's Cleveland, right? That's what we're
Just
used
about.
to.
Oh yeah. Just about the possibility of him coming back and them re-signing him.
Yeah, I haven't heard shit about the Browns. I don't pay attention to them though.
But I just look at their depth chart. Isaiah McGuire is a guy who came out in the draft. He's like a third string D end right now. Ronnie
Yeah.
Hickman, they got undrafted as safety.
Oh, yeah.
He's balled out the entire preseason.
He's
From
on their.
the Ohio State University.
Is he on their 53 or is he on the practice
Yes.
squad?
No, he made their
Oh.
53
All right.
because he balled out. They have Martin Emerson, Grant Delpit. They added Juan Thornhill from the Chiefs, like Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome. You look at Jeremiah Wusa-Koromoa,
Koromoa, yeah.
like the Anthony Walker, Taki. They have a solid fucking roster, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But they don't have Joe Burrow.
Right.
They don't have JB. That's right.
And also, they're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, they'll find a way to fuck all
They'll
this
find
up.
a way to fuck it up.
And you know what? That's a good point, because I was going to say, this time of year before the games start, when you go down and you're looking through team after team after team, you're like, man, these guys look like they got pretty good depth, and a lot of players don't pan out the way you think they should, and that goes coaching all the way down to the strength and the players and how much they actually want it.
But man, I mean, you're talking about proven guys on that D line with Zadarius Smith, Alvin Tomlinson, and Shelby Harris that they brought in to add to Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, our offensive line is going to get a freaking test
Battle test
immediately week
Right.
1 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would have been nice to have them go out there for like one series?
Yeah, that's another reason I wanted
yeah.
our guys to get a series or two.
Yeah.
If they, yeah, I wanted them to come out for one series, please.
Jonah
I like Jonah going out there. Yeah.
He did good too. It would have been
Yeah.
nice though to get Cordell Volson playing next to Zeus for one series,
Yeah.
because that's the other part of the line that needs continuity. Like, does Cordell Volson, Alex Kappa, and Ted Karras? They're good. All right, they played all last year together. But Zeus needs that continuity with Cordell Volson, and Jonah needed practice at the right side. And Jonah got his, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to
All
be
right,
worse than
fellas.
last year. It'll be better than last year for sure.
I'm getting ready to pull in and get my kids now. So
Oh, little kids.
you guys have a fantastic evening.
All right, you too, buddy.
See you, Derek. Love you.
I'll be on my way. I'm not sure about what time I'll get there, but we'll be in Asheville, North Carolina on Friday. The wife and I are going to go see the Biltmore estate, so we're having us a nice
They're
little
going to
thing
Biltmore, that fancy ass
our
commercial
anniversary.
place. You know that fancy commercial? Wait till fucking Derek walks up into that fancy ass
Rich
place.
people problems. Man. I can't
Yeah.
relate.
Derek's gonna walk
All right,
up there and
fellas.
fucking Sarah drinking her fucking Keystones.
See you, buddy.
Love you guys.
Love you too,
Love
buddy.
you.
That'll be on the next Biltmore commercial. Derek.
I don't have a clue what either.
Yeah, it's that, man. They show the commercial like Biltmore. It looks all fancy and shit. Looks like something
What
off
is
of.
this?
It looks like some place people go on vacation off. You ever watch Billions? Or
No, I haven't watched
what?
that.
What
I've
was
heard it's
what
good.
was the one on HBO about the family that owns that Succession? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
So it's like it looks like a place that some of them fuckers would go on vacation, like millionaires and billionaires.
Jeez.
And Derek's gonna fucking roll up in there with his fucking Keystones.
And his wife beater is fucking.
And his
biggest
wife
for his
beater.
wife beater.
Right. Yeah. That ought to be fun for the Biltmore.
That's something.
Yeah.
What is it? It's a
a fancy all-inclusive. I think it's a fancy all-inclusive, like fancy ass rich people resort.
man. You can tell like I am not fucking fancy one bit because I hadn't even heard of this shit.
Like a giant mansion. It's a home built by the Vanderbilts. And those were some rich bastards, man. The Vanderbilts.
Man, I don't know. Fuck. I'm just a poor guy.
I know. I go to all inclusive at Days Inn, and that's because they have the breakfast in the morning where you can
Well,
make the waffles.
Like Saturday, we might go to Chillicothe.
Yeah, man. Stop it, Dale. Stop getting all fancy on
me. We might go to Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And then we may go to like a movie.
Man,
Or
on
we
Sunday,
may go to eat at like Roosters.
On Sunday, I plan on going to Kieran's in Bridgetown, fancy Bridgetown.
So it's a big, what Derek's going and living it up.
It's all that overtime, man. That mandatory overtime. He's got Biltmore money now.
It's all the Bengals and Brews money. He's taking all of
all those super
all
chats.
the super chats for himself.
Here we thought we were getting our share, every once in a while when Derek cuts us a
So I was
check.
getting my $32 every now and again,
But are you going to the Biltmore, Dale? I'm not going.
not. I might get to go to Sam's Club and spend money on groceries.
Yeah, I'm going to work. I'm going to fancy ass Clifton.
Yeah. Damn, Derek's rich. I don't even have a show planned for the weekend. I was debating on just doing a Friday at 3:30 and calling it a week, honestly.
I'll be here at 3:30.
As we're getting excited for the season, I just thought, if there was a guest lined up or something, we'll see. Maybe a guest will pop up and we'll have a show Friday night. But I'm good with just having a Friday at 3:30 show and head into next week. And I figure next week, maybe we'll try to line up a guest for next weekend. Next weekend, that's when the shit's getting real.
Yes.
Shit gets real next weekend.
Yeah.
I want to have like full fucking force and energy for a show for next weekend, where we just probably end up getting drunk and bullshitting the whole time.
Right? Yeah.
Football, but
Maybe
we're gonna be so excited.
Bust out a Four Loco.
Yeah, I might have to get a Four Loco.
Yeah.
Y'all couldn't handle me on a Four Loco.
I'd like to see it.
You might get to.
Yeah. Get the fruit punch one, man. The other ones, they're not as good. That fruit punch one tastes good, though.
I have to make sure they have that at the Rusty Court,
Is that where you get your burrito?
No.
Oh.
It's just my beer spot.
Anthony's going to get a Four Loco, too.
So I'll get Four Loco'd up next weekend.
That's right. Four Loco Friday.
Yeah.
It could be fun. We could do Four Loco Friday.
Then that'll lead to Floor Friday. It'll probably be fucking sleeping on the floor in this garage.
Floor
Friday.
Loco. Floor Loco Friday.
Floor Loco.
Yeah. The Four Loco turned into the Floor Loco.
Hey, what if I fell asleep at this fucking right here? Just
look, I don't know if you can see this on my phone, but look, I'm playing with Photoshop last night. God damn it. Kieran's texting me. Hold on. Here we go. Look at that.
yeah. For Luco.
For Luco. People been hearing me talk about how our defense is for Luco. You see that 100%? You can't. It's all blurry. 100% whoop ass. Yeah. For Luco. So that's what we'll have to drink. A For Luco.
Matt's going to see Allspring. He's got him Four Loco for pre-show.
It's going to be a good show, man, if you pre-party with fucking Four Loco. Where's our...
Crip's got to go drain the pool. That sounds like an excuse I make to go pee.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You got quiet.
I know.
All right, y'all. Go end this one. Love y'all.
I also love everybody. And kiss.